So we completed states.
Yes. Okay. 1 minute. Corporate training, Ashok IT full stack. Okay. Okay. I think last class we have finished with state management and also the little event handling. Okay. So today we understand like how to handle the forms. So how to deal with the forms data. Let's have a look. So I think I have taken a backup of this. So events handling, components, come on, components, yeah, card counter and all there. Okay, so today we'll are going to start with form handling in React.js. So the way how you handle forms in JavaScript, the same way we also handle in React. Okay, but the way how you maintain a state is slightly different. Okay, so okay, let me do one thing. Let me clear all the existing components which we have already discussed. Let me delete them and go to app.js, the one which I don't want. I will delete. Okay, so now it is, yeah, React with event handling, but not that, React with forms handling. Okay, so what my plan is, first we'll start with a basic example and then we'll go with something, complex example. So what we do is, I'm not using any fragment, right? Okay, so what we do is we'll just start with the regular. I think in JavaScript also we have discussed this example. So let me tell you something like two-way binding, how it happens in React. So let's have a look. Uh, I have one text box. Okay, so this is one text box. So whatever I have entered in the text box, don't worry, it's a basic example. Um, Whenever I type something in a text box, I wanted to see the really what was typing as soon as I enter a keystroke. Okay, so yeah, yeah, I explain what is one way and what is two way. So one way binding is like this. So from your component to HTML is one way, and again HTML back to component is another way, like two way. It means, see for example, but in React, right, both are in same component. You can't exactly see the difference between, because both HTML and the component means the JavaScript code. Both are in a same file. But when you take the Angular, like you have two different files and there will be a sync. Okay, so this is called binding. You know what kind of binding is? For example, you have one component. Okay, so in the component there is a state and there is also some HTML code. There is some HTML code. So in the state, whatever the variable you define, you can bind it to any of the HTML element. It means when I say component to HTML, assume the state variable, the state data is component specific data, and the HTML is the HTML, the HTML design which you see in a UI. So when you declare a variable on the state and the same thing I want to bind on HTML. So generally on React, how will you bind it? Using a React expression, you just provide the variable of state so that it will bind here. So this is called one way. You just bind from state to here. So if I change the state, automatically it reflects on the UI. If I change the state manually, it reflects on the UI. Assume this is HTML part UI. So this is one way binding. Okay. Another way is when I do some changes on HTML, I want to update the state. When I do some changes, so this is one way, right? So you change something in a state manually, it updates in the HTML. one way. And you change in the HTML, I wanted to update back. So when some changes happen, I wanted to update back to the same state. I wanted to update back. So when this will happen, when you do some changes on HTML, so how will you update back the state to the state variable is when some event occurs. So when this happens is with respective to events. So on HTML, when some event occurs, like when you submit a form, when you enter a character, or when you select something, like whatever activity you perform. So with that, based on that event, I wanted to capture the changes and I wanted to send it to the state, because this state itself is having in future connection with the server and services. Okay, going forward. So always you need to bind between them, like you need to make both of them into sync. If you change here, it reflects here. If you change here, it reflects there. Okay, if both are in sync, then this application will work. Okay, because this is the state data and this is HTML data. You change the state, HTML will change. If you change in the HTML, state also will change. Okay, and once a state is updated and in sync with your all your changes, then that state we will send to back to the service, and from there to the server. Okay, that concept and all we'll see, but let's make a two-way binding between them. Okay, so with this simplest example. So for that, what I do was in the components, I create one component called something, let's say user card dot jsx. Okay, where is our component code? Here. So let's say user card.
React is one-way data binding, right? Or two-way data binding?
Hmm, sorry,
React is one-way data binding, right?
one way, but two way also we can do. It's not one way, it's a two way. By default is one way, but we can make it two way. But not one way. Who said one way?
No, actually, I read in this way one-way unidirectional flow. That is different, right?
Yeah, unidirectional flow is one way only, but still we can make it two way, right?
Yeah, actually, I read in the documents of React, so that's why it was mentioned it's unidirectional.
Yeah, I
Huh.
have also read that.
One
Because
second.
in React, we pass data from parents to child, and yeah, it is possible to pass data from child to parent as well.
Yeah, that is different. Parent to
Yeah.
child, child to parent is different. Um, where is React? Get all different. Oh, this is different one. Unidirectional data flow is different. Like you can transfer from parent to child, child to parent also. Like two way you can actually do. Okay. You can transfer from parent to child and child to parent, but not this. This concept is different. I'll come back to this concept. That is different. Two-way binding is different. Unidirectional flow is different.
Okay.
Okay, it's not parent and child. It's just its own component. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Uh, so okay, I have taken a component. So let me configure in a app. Let's say uh, what is that? User card. Okay, I think I got user card. Okay, so let's make a design. I think am I getting the second? I don't know. Yeah, thank God, I'm getting it. Okay, so let's take one container, basic, card structure I'll make and then I'll explain. I have joined from Photon as well. Ah, I've joined from phone, PH, and I thought Photon my company. As a laptop, cause I have some voice issue. My laptop has some I share my screen. Banu, 1 minute. 1 minute. I am explaining something else. So just keep it. I'll ask you. Okay. Okay. So container, one row and single call SM4, one card. one form, one input. अरे यार, it was coming na. Form control. Okay, so under the form, I'll just take some h2. Just say hello. Okay, so my UI part is ready. Okay, so here, okay, so here what my plan, right? When I am typing something, I wanted to display that here. Okay, so before that, I want to make one-way binding. What I said one-way binding is from the state variable, I want to bind something to the HTML. So I create one state variable. Let something is equal to use state. Okay, so use state here, username and set username. Okay, one state variable I have taken with some empty string, or else you can take some name. Okay, so I have taken a username with a name called use Naveen, and this username I wanted to bind on my HTML, this location here. So how would I bind using the React expression? Just say username. So this is one way binding from the state variable to the HTML. One way you have bind. So if you bind, yeah, it is changed. So what I have told also is when you change the state manually, okay, when you change the state manually, it automatically reflects on the UI because it's been bind. So whatever you change, right? So it will affect here. Okay, this is one way. But I don't want to change this state. It's supposed to happen like through the application. It means from the HTML when I am typing something. So as soon as I enter a keystroke, it should update that value on the state so that it reflects here because already when I change the state, it reflects. But I don't want to change it manually, go into the file. When I enter a keystroke, get the value and update the state automatically, it reflects here. So when you enter a character on this one, it's like input event. So when input event occurs, gets the value and then update your state. So how will you apply the events for here? So for input element, in JavaScript, what we do regularly, we just take an ID. Okay, we'll take an ID and we'll say get element by ID or query selector and all this. Actually not required here. We can just say directly on change event actually. So on change, I can create a function and I'll call it. So let update username. Okay, update username is equal to a function. Okay, so when the change event occurs, when the change happens on input, I'm going to call update username function. Okay, so this update username, see, and also we understand in JavaScript, whenever you call a function, whenever you're calling a function uh, on certain event, this function by default takes a parameter called the event itself. Correct? The event itself will take some default parameter, and this using this parameter only, you're going to manage here. So if it is taking some parameter, then what you generally do is you call like this update username of the event. Okay, I just taken the event as a function parameter and passing it on here. So comes here. So you get the event. So now this using the event, um, I'm gonna just say console.log of event dot target dot value. You know this, right? So event dot target is a sense the input element, the targeted element on the event is input, and input dot value mean the value what you have type in the text box is the value. So as of now, I'm just printing on a console and then I will connect to the state ladder. Okay, so let's keep your console aside. Okay, so what I do, so when I type something, Where is this guy? Go here. Console. Okay. So when I say 1 AVEEN, correct? So whatever I'm typing, I'm able to get it, right? Okay. So that value I just wanted to update to my state simply. So what I do simply, what I do is set username. It will take a callback function. So it will take some previous state. So what I do, it will return event dot target dot value, because it is just a string, right? So I'm going to update it with this one. I'm not using any previous state, just replacing the whole string with event dot target dot value. Okay. So if it is an object, you return object. If it is array, you return array. Okay, same type. So now let's check. If I refresh, it is empty, but still there is something is there. Okay, that's fine. If I enter n, a v e n, so it is been bind. So as soon as you enter a character, automatically it's call a function on change event. It's call a function, gets the event dot target dot value. I'm appending to my state. So the same state variable has been binded over here. So like two-way binding is happen. Now I don't want by default, like when the page loaded, I don't want to see this text. So just make it empty. Just for our understanding, we have given some text. So, but generally it will be always empty. So you can't see anything. So now whatever I'm typing, it will display. Understood, right? So same, nothing much we have done from the React is completely from a JavaScript. Right? When you call a function, it takes a default event.target.value also part of JavaScript only. But the way how you call a function is in React is because if it takes a parameter, so you have to pass on like this. Okay. And updating state is a part of React. But in JavaScript, you do inner HTML and all you do, but that's not required. Just update the state and you can use the state variable wherever you want and however you want. Okay. So this is one example. This is one example. Now one more question. Sir, I just have, okay, let's make some placeholder here. Placeholder username. Okay, so this is one username field. So like that, I wanted to have another field. Okay, one more field. So let me do one thing. So I have one username field. How one-way binding will be? Bro, you're sleeping or what? I explain, right? You create a variable. These many times I explain, bro. I create a state, I bind to the HTML, that is one way. You make some changes and bind back to the state, it is another way. This both together is called two-way. This can be one way, this can be one way. Okay. Okay, fine. So I have taken a username and let's take one more. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll copy these and paste. अरे यहाँ पे तो दिखा नहीं. 1 minute. This is password. Okay. So this is also password. For example, I have two. Okay. So I have two username and password. I just wanted to see the username password data, not just on here. Okay. Just wanted to see the state is getting updated or not. So instead of printing the H2, can I make like this? I just take some a pre tag for JSON.stringify of username. Okay, it was empty. Okay, you can take also like this. Okay, username was empty. So whenever I'm typing, so my username is getting updated on my state variable. Okay, and what about the password? So password also updating to username because I call a same function. Okay, so what about the password? Tell me. So password is there is a separate file and this won't work because this only for username. So what would we do? Okay, so I'll take like this. I'll take another state variable that you can do multiple ways actually. I'll tell you all the ways. So you can take another variable, use state empty, same like username. And here I'll take a password and set password. password and set password. So let me print the password also for our understanding of data binding. Just display the password also. So you can see the password also, but password is not updating. Yeah, let's the same like this. I create another function. Password. Okay, so update username and update password. So what it does, it is not going to update set username. It set the password, and the value is same here and here is same. Just only set password, and you have to call what update password. Okay, so here updating username, here updating password. Nothing much, just only variable name change, but exactly same code. Okay, now check. So when I change the username, it affects. When I type the password, you can see the password. But don't tell me, sir, you are showing the password. Yes, I wantedly show because you should know, right? What is getting sent into server? Correct. Yes, I wanted to display the variable, but in real time you don't do all this. Okay, real time also you test it. Testing twice you can do, but before releasing to customer, you can you will hide this statement. Okay. Yeah. See, you focus on this one, all dots only. But this is the data you are typing. This data sent to server. Okay. So password also been binder, username also been binder. So happily it works. Like you have a number of fields. This way you have to do. But here is a question. Question is, there I have just two fields like username and password, right? There are a lot of uh, like optimization you have to do. Okay, some mistakes are there in the code. I'll tell you. So one thing is, tell me, this is one form, correct? This whole thing is one form. So generally, when you go with the individual variable, when you go with the object, or when you go with the array. So when you go with individual variable, is those two variables are nowhere relation between them, like those are belongs to like two independent purpose, then we go with two variables. That's why we have two variables. Okay, but in this case, this username and password not like independent, like looks like independent. So these are like both are a part of like one login form, like just one form data. So these are having a relation, like so username password actually belongs to something. So any similar kind of these things, we keep it into one object. So instead of, if you keep different variables also works, but you have to write this two times of code for individual variable. And if you keep writing like this, if there are some 10-15 properties are there, I mean like 10-15 fields are there here, like text box, text area field, like select box and all. So you have to write those many states unnecessarily, state variables, and you have to write those many functions also, because every variable there's a different function for update. Okay, so instead what I say is you have to follow the basic principle of JavaScript. So what is the basic principle of JavaScript is, come back to the variable declaration. If it is two independent variables, go with independent states. If it is belongs to something, then go with the object. If you want to represent the collection of objects, go with array. Okay, so that you can keep in mind. So in this case, these two belongs to one thing that is called just user information, like login information, just username password together. So in that case, you can keep it into one object. Okay, so I don't want to disturb this code because you can keep this aside. So same code I'll copy and paste into some other component. Okay, I'll copy this, I'll paste it, change to user card object, just say obj. To change this name obj, and here obj. So go here, just say user card obj. Okay, same code, but I just changed to some other file, a new file. Okay, so now what my plan, I don't want to do this. Let's make into one object. So what I do, let something is equal to use state. Okay, so in that I'll take an object, like this is going to be a username data. Just say user and set user. So one user's data. So user and set user. So now here, what you have, okay, so I have fields like username and also the password. This way you have to do actually. If you want to maintain some other person data, then go with another state variable with object. But if if those are having a connection, then don't make individual. Okay. So username and password, I have taken both to empty. So I don't need this. If I don't need this, a lot of changes you have to do. Username. Username, how you get? User dot username. Actually, this much also not required. You can make it into single object. How? They send a string if I have user directly, you get the whole user data into string format. Okay. So user and password. Okay. Now, what about the function? So do you make two functions for update the data? Actually not required. You can make only one function, single function to update. Okay. So update, just take update user. Update user. So set user. Okay. So you have to return something dot 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 the previous state comma, but here is the problem. Actually I'll tell you. Okay, comma, field name you have to pass, like it is username or password. So the field name, dynamic field name will be event dot target dot value. Okay, because if you pass username, I update to username field. If you pass password, I update to password field that way. Okay, because there are two things now. Because you can't hard code username or password as a key, correct? Because both for username and password, same function want to work. Okay, otherwise you have to create two functions. This is dynamic property. Okay, let me put it even more simple. Isko hatao. This is username. Okay, update username. Okay, take two functions. I'll tell you what to do. Copy this. Update password. Okay, so this is password. Just keep it two functions. I'll explain. So username, it updates username field for the state, and this is update the password field. So now what do I do? This is update username, update password. Okay, anything else? That's it now. And also I forgot something in the input now. When you type something, it's supposed to keep the data. Actually, there should be one value field, value user dot username. The value is nothing but it binds to the state variable user dot password, the value field. Okay, so I refresh. Okay, so username, whatever I'm typing, it updates, and password also, whatever I'm typing, it updates. Yeah, this is fine. So one way you simplified is you have taken into only one variable with an object data, that's fine. But one more problem is, sir, you have two functions. But if you hardly look at the function, this line, this whole thing is same, only just username and here is password. Everything is same, here username, here password. So you can actually manage these two. Okay, if you can provide me the name, I can substitute here. If you can provide me the password, I can substitute here dynamically. So what I do here, what my plan is, comma, field name I pass. Okay, so if I substitute field name as it is, what happened? The property name becomes a field name. Understood na? The JavaScript dynamic property, we use brackets notation, correct? So if I provide field name, so if I put field name, so it adds an extra field called field name. I show you that also. Okay, isko hatao. So update, just take a user. You're only updating a user data. Okay, so let's make here user and here also user. But what we want, I have to pass the field name, that one is username and one is password. So even comma username I pass username, comma I pass password. Okay, here I pass username, here I pass password. So that is taken as a field name, it's substitute here. Okay, so just look at, so I have just username and password. When I enter one character, what happened? Instead of updating the data in my input field called username, it is just created one more field called field name n. Because see, because of this line, it takes both of these properties from the previous state. Okay, these two, extra one field name added, this one. So it take static field name. No, I want to substitute the value which you have provided. The username has to substitute. So the variable substitution, how it happens using the bracket notation. So I use brackets notation there. So what happened? So whatever the name you pass, that substitutes dynamically in the key. So when key is dynamic, then go with the brackets notation, right? So key. So now if I make a brackets notation there, so directly what you pass username, what you pass password, it gets substituted over there. So now let's have a look. I refresh. So when I'm typing for username, it happily works for username. And when I'm typing for the password, it works for the password. See, in this, I never hardcode anything, but still it works because I'm passing the different. Here is the difference, right? I'm passing password here, I'm passing username here. It works in this way. Okay. So this is one way. This is one way. You can even more simplify. Instead of passing field name here, instead of extra parameter called field name, you know, you get these two values with event only. With event only. How you know? Instead of passing username, I create one name field. Name is equal to username. Same username I have given as a name field, name attribute, and one more name attribute called password. The exact the one you have to give. Okay, otherwise it will create a new key with your own name. Okay, so the exact field name I given a name, exact password I given a name password. So I don't want to pass this extra. Okay, keep it. Okay, so I given name is username, name is password, right? So if you give a name, tell me what is this value? Value is also an attribute of input, right? How you get the value? Event dot target dot value. Same like that, you want to access the name event dot target dot name. So instead of field name, you can simply say event dot target dot name, the name attribute of your input field, the name attribute. So respective to the function or the event on an input field, it takes the name field, it takes the password field. Automatically it updates here event dot target dot name because name is different for both of them. So now I'm not using any field name in this. I'm just using only event here. So now go and refresh. So when I'm typing something, it updates. When I type in something, it updates. Perfectly working. Then what is the need of field name? Not required. Just only event you can manage. So you don't need to pass username here. You don't need to pass password here. Only thing you have to give a name field, a different name field, but make sure the name should be exactly the same as the one. Sir, what if it is password, but if I give the name as capital password, what happen? Same like your field name. Extra field name come na, same like that. I give capital password. See, I declared as a lowercase password and I have given name as uppercase password. So when updating, what happened? It will take the uppercase password. It doesn't match. So it will create a fresh key, you see. So name is fine, but password, if I enter one character, what happened? It makes an extra field called capital password. Okay, because if it was same, it would have added there only because you given change the different name because this variable itself is different because case sensitive na. Yeah, okay, now make sure you give us same. Okay, so it is working. So this way you generally handle the form data. Just take an object and update. Okay, so let me give you one in detail example, like just not only just two fields. Let's take some complete registration form with checkboxes and all. Okay, just take some registration form with checkboxes and all, so that and how to submit the form data, and also we'll see okay how to submit form data also. So this is just for testing purpose to see how state is getting changed. Okay, so for testing you can use this pre-tag json or stringify, any object you can print. because object as it is you can't print on a HTML. So because JSX, you have to convert into string. Okay, so you can just for testing, you can see like how state is getting changed because there are n number of fields and you want to check is that field is getting update or not. Go with this approach. This really help for debug. Okay, and okay, so let's take the complete example which contains a registration form. So let me create so new JavaScript, just say registration .jsx. Actually, instead of creating a JavaScript, it's not giving me an option. Huh? JSX will come actually. Why this guy has removed it? Don't know. Okay, what about for TypeScript? Yeah, these two are coming. Okay, TypeScript TSX is coming, but JavaScript JSX is not coming. Okay, so registration. So I got registration dot not JS JSX. Okay, so let's create a new component. Registration. What happened? Okay, so let's connect to app. I'll just comment out this guy and just take registration component. Previously it was this thing, na? User card. This is also comment. Okay. So registration, but I want to have registration form. Don't waste your time. We already made registration form in when we discuss Bootstrap class, na? Let me get the registration form. Oh, Bootstrap class may forms may we discuss, I guess. See, you have same registration will take from where to where. Whole here, copy, go and replace here. Okay, you have a registration form. What happened? Oh, JSX closing tag for input. I told right for JSX, every tag should have a like input, like every tag should have a close tag. But input doesn't have a close tag, na? So यहाँ पे slash is missing. That's a problem here. Nice. So what we do? See, automatically converted to class name after I paste. Yeah. See, here is the error. Make a slash. Here is the slash. Here is a slash because JSX is most critical one. Input. Yeah, where input close here. Where input close here. Here input. Input. Here also input. I think now happy. Okay. Okay, fine. So I got a registration form, username, email, password, designation, and gender, male or female, and biography, accept terms, and register. Right. So these many things are there. So let's make a complete registration form now. So what you do? Will you take individual variable or take a whole object? You have to take an object because all belongs to one thing that is user registration data. So let's create that one. So let something is equal to use state. Okay, so this will be an object. So in that, let's take a user and set user. Okay, so what you have username. So username is empty and email is empty. Okay, password is empty. Designation. So designation also. Gender, male or female. Biography. Oh, not caps. Terms true or false because it is checkbox now. If you check it is true, if you don't check it is false, right? Terms. Okay, so we have taken a state and how will you update your this thing? How you update um, how you update the state? So let's say let update user is equal to a function. I just write a generic function. Okay, you get the event. So set user where you have a callback function that will take the a previous state. So it return a new state with all the existing properties of previous state, and then you make the event dot target dot name. So you must have to give a unique name. Okay, so event dot target dot value. Okay, so this is unique. Now how will you do? Okay, let's make a pre-tag for now, just to see how my state is getting updated. User. Okay, so user form is filled. I mean user state is there here. When I type, it's supposed to update only username field, no extra field to be added. Okay. Yeah. Form validation, I tell you a bit later. Okay. Username. So what's the plan here? The value from user dot username, and the name field. Name field is username only, exact username, and on change update, there is an event you take. Update user with the event. You can take event or just E. Okay, so this is the one for updating your field. Okay, so ID and all not required actually. ID not required now. We are not using any form testing. Not required. We keep also no problem. Okay, so here just see when I'm typing username. See, no structure has not changed of your state. That is main thing. Okay, and your username is getting updated. Same story. You have to make it for all. Simple. Copy this for email. Paste it. This is gonna be the email. This is email, and that is fine. For password, this is password. This is also password. That is fine. And what else? Value. This is designation. This is also designation. That's fine. Okay, for ये क्या है? Oh, radio button. So when you select radio button, user dot gender, and the same gender you're gonna update. Okay, copy, and this input also you make a same story, gender only, but there are two times name is defined. Delete it. What else? For text area, this is bio, and this is also biography. There is a checkbox. Oh, checkbox value and all won't be there, man. Okay, एक काम करेंगे. Only name field. What is the name we given? Terms. So this is gonna be the terms and update user. Actually, here you get some problem because it is checkbox. You get true and false, not value. Let's see. So here I have, okay, so let's filter. So let's check. Name is updating. Email is updating. Let's say my name at gmail.com. Updated. Password also updated. Designation. If I select software engineer, not updating. Some problem. Is that? Oh, you know what is the problem here? There is no problem in this one. There is a problem in this one. You know what? Whatever you're selecting, right? You are accepting the value of the event, but value field is empty. है ना? That's why whatever you select is coming empty only. Okay, so it's supposed to be value field is software engineer. Here value is senior software engineer. This is for display, but the actual value behind is this one. Okay, I update the value field. So Here you can type, that is a value, but here what you select is a value, right? So I select software engineer, now it's come because of the value. Okay, value can be anything. It's mostly same, or you can give anything else. You can give value as a number, and this can be string like that. Okay, so senior software engineer, tech lead, manager, yeah, working. So male, female, not working. Why? Name, gender, user dot. Oh, here also problem. रेडियो बटन ना, रेडियो बटन का वैल्यू कहाँ से आएंगे? ओ वैल्यू, I think you don't need to give the value just like a hard code value like this. You have to give a static value. This is male, this is female. That is a value, right? So see, when I select male, it's female, correct? So you have to give a value like this way for radio button. Okay. Next, biography is also updating. Whatever terms, when I select it is on, value on. When I uncheck, nothing comes. Actually, I don't want to maintain a value of this one. I want to make a true or false. If you check, it is true. If you uncheck, it's false. But how will you do? Problem is you make hard coded value only, but value applicable for all of this except this guy. So how will you do? I think event.target is checkbox, something like that you can do. If condition you write, okay, if, okay, let me do like this one, console.log of event.target is equal to checkbox. Target or target.type. I think target.type it seems. Type target is input element. Target.type it seems. Okay, let's check. Where is my this guy? Keep here. Why this so shrinken? Okay. So यहाँ पे when I check it, true. Uncheck, also true. Oh, it's my condition. See, event.target.type is checkbox is coming. Okay, when I make something for this guy is false because it's not checkbox, only this is checkbox. Okay, so to get the type of the input, the set type is checkbox. Okay, targets type वहाँ पे है ना, input type equal to checkbox, input type parameter checkbox. So if you say event.target, you get the element dot type, you get this dot name, event.target.name, event.target.value, event.target.type. So like if it is a date field, if it's a radio field, you can select it this way, event.target.type. So if it is checkbox, I want to update in a different way. So what I do, if event.target.type is not is equal to checkbox, if it is not a checkbox, you are going to set this, else you are going to.
Sir, in the condition you mentioned not two double equal to in the condition.
That is only correct.
No,
JavaScript, that is
17th,
only, no.
17 line not equal to.
ये वाला ना?
Yeah.
You're expecting this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, every language is like this. JavaScript is like this. Same
Okay.
condition only, but JavaScript like this.
Okay.
So, okay. So I think it's done. Yeah, see, if it is not a checkbox, go with a value. Actually, you can make it reverse. If it is checkbox, go with checked, otherwise value. I make it reverse. If it is non-checkbox, go with a value. Otherwise, this one, same story. So I think check unchecked runtime last design indicate asynchronous response. Is that now? No. Okay. See here. When I check, It's true, uncheck is false. True, false is coming. True, false is coming. Actually, you can simplify this now. इतना सारा code क्यों है? If type equal to checkbox, this value got changed, this checked got changed. Actually, you can do one thing. Set करके here only, instead of doing the bigger story, here only. Here I make a condition. You know conditional statement, na? Copy this. If it is checkbox, go with checked. Otherwise, value. Khatam ke khatam. ये तो simply not required. You understand this story? Name. The name ka value is if type is equal to checkbox conditionally. If type equal to checkbox, go with checked. With the type equal to non-checkbox. Sorry, I made a mistake. If non-checkbox is value. Okay, do one thing equal to kato. If it is checkbox, go with checked. Otherwise, value. Okay, instead of making if else condition, I just convert into conditional statement. So you have to check now. So it is working without any changing any structure, username working, email working, password, designation, male, female, this one. Yeah, that's fine. One more thing. What is one more thing is I want to submit the form data, right? You change the form, that's fine. Two-way binding happened fine, but ultimately when I click on register button, I want to send this whole form data to server. But we don't have server connection. Just see in a console log how will you submit the form and how can you get this data. So click on register its form submission event. So what I do, just go to the form. Let's say on submit. Let's say submit register a function, but this also takes an event. So e submit register of e, copy this, create a function. Okay, so you receive the event. So the very first step, what you do, event dot prevent default, same in JavaScript also. Yeah. What you do here? Nothing, just console log. We don't have any service or something to catch. Console log of what? The state which you have updated, same thing we are sending to server. Same structure we are sending to server. If you want to change the structure, you change it here, and however the server is expecting, you send. Generally, how server expecting, that way only we create a state. Okay, username, password, what is the table structure, the same way we create here. Okay. Yeah, prevent default, it prevents from the page refresh. Even though you submit the form data, it prevents your page refresh. Okay, because there is no refresh concept in React. Okay, it just single page application. Okay, to stop the prevention of the page refresh, so this is required. Okay, and it's not a React one, it's a JavaScript one. Okay, so what I do, so I don't need this actually, maybe. Okay, let's keep this aside. This is also aside. Okay, let's take my name, email. This we have written just for our understanding. Okay, some password, designation, mail, some blah 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 blah. So let's say I am a developer. Select register. Yes, as soon as I click on register, page was not refreshed, and but it sent data to server. Assume it's sending to server because we don't have any server connection. These are all fine, but one more thing, in real time, what people ask you is they ask you to make some kind of validation. We will see the validation part a bit later because multiple concepts you have to learn before that. But in this, a small thing we can do is register ka button. Generally, what happen with if user has not filled any one of this form data, user has not filled any one of this form data, I wanted to disable the button. If you enter a value for that, then I want to enable the button. Okay, until unless you keep this button disabled. You know how how to make a button disable? Just keep this is input now button here. Just take here disabled. If I give disabled, so it is disabled. You can't click it, right? So it is like this actually. If I say disabled true, so it is disabled. If I say disabled false, non-disable. Okay, but I want to make this disable if you don't fill any one of the form. How will you make this? So what I do for that disable and enable, I'll take one more state variable, and that is not a part of this form. It is completely independent of the form, right? It's not a form field. Correct. So let's take another state variable is equal to use state. So here I'll take by default is true, because by default when the page loads, it should be disabled. Nah? By the page loads, you can't fill, right? So disabled button and set disable button. Okay, so let me give this true, bind with my HTML here. So disabled will be disable button. If it is true, it will disable. And what was the value? It was true. So if it is true, so my button is disabled. If I make that to false manually, it is enable. So when to make false, that you have to take care. So when to make false, when user has not filled any of the data. But where will I the logic? Okay, I create a function for that. Let's check all fields filled. Can give this much bigger name. Okay, check for empty fields. Okay, a function. So what it does, actually, what is the meaning of this thing is you just have to check all these, string should not be empty. By default, string is empty. If you fill, this will get some data, na? So it should not be empty. Okay. So how to repeat through the object? You go with keys, I see, I guess. Okay, let's do one thing. For let key of object dot keys of user. You get all the keys. Not all the keys, I think you get the value directly. Object dot values of user. Okay. So you get all the values, this thing, this one, this one, this one, this one, all the values you get. So check if the value is equal to empty. Check if the value is empty, return true, else return false. Okay, it's keep looping. I think do one thing. If anything, any value is empty, it returns true. Otherwise, it returns false. So I can call this not return true na. I don't want to return. I want to set my disabled state. Okay, ये काम करेंगे. Set disabled button of true. It will set it. Otherwise, set disabled button of false. You take any one of the values empty, it's set to true. Any one of the values not empty, like if all are not empty, like when you come out from the for loop, then only it is enable the button. Okay, but I have to call this function. Na? When you call the function, when every change, if I change, check, change, check, again remove, check. So I have to call this function when every event calls. Okay, so check for empty fields. Okay, that will take care. Now let's see. So I have enter username, not enable, email not enable, password not enable, not enable, not enable, enable. Okay, so for example, I remove username, disable. Now क्या हो रहा है? Empty, enable, enter, also enable. If I remove, hey, if I remove disable ना, if you enter is problem है ना. This ये तो false है. Remaining and all empty, that's fine.
In if condition, we have to make terms and condition, two conditions. If value is
Yes,
equals to
yes,
something.
yes. We have to check either empty or false. Okay, you can do either empty or true. You take only one is true, I guess.
Terms is true.
Okay, let's see. Otherwise, you can manage with the key. So I enter. It is true. It's a problem. All the fields are enter, na. This one true.
We have, I think we have to take user of terms is true.
Hmm?
User of terms. We have to give true. So if condition directly we have given true.
Yeah, the value I'm looking at. The value. This value. Not
Okay,
key.
okay.
So value is empty. It is true only. Otherwise false. Actually, you do here only. Why return and all we did?
For checkbox, it will not get the value.
Good. No. Wrong. A value not belongs to the input field value. A value belongs to the object ka value. Key value. That value.
Okay.
So why can't we can loop through entries and get key value pairs both first?
You can try that.
I think for you are calling set disable button. Previously it was return. I think no need of return, sir.
Yeah, no return fine. But actually the terms key itself is making a problem. It seems. Let's see. Array. We enter as soon as value is empty or true, then this one.
So make it and true or true.
No,
Everything.
it cannot be and. It cannot be string and
Because
yeah, simple logic. 1 minute. Value is empty or true. This one. And when this will get, you fill out all. If you come out from the loop, do one thing. If it is not empty or false, make it to false. But again, biggest problem will come because every field will. How come? If bad, okay, let's keep this.
Sorry, the 22nd line. So at the end, we are making disabled button is false, right, sir? Is that line impacting? It seems.
What I thought is if everything is done, then come back here.
that false should be in the else
No,
statement.
if you keep in the else now, if you keep in the else now, if you keep this in the else for each field, first field it will check. Okay, disable. Next field, what happened? It will be filled so that it will make it false, like unable automatically. Immediately it enable.
For object keys and values తీసుకొని terms equals to true అయినప్పుడు అట్లా ట్రై చేస్తాను.
Okay, I'll do one thing for let uh, key of object dot keys of user. Okay, fine. Object dot keys of user. So you get the each key. So if user with the key is equal to empty, I can do like this now. Return true directly. You do. If none of this match, then return false. I take. So I catch this. Based on that, I'll set here. So set disable button by passing on check the fields. So this guy will set it, depend on it, or else simply what you do, this much story also not required. You call this function directly यहाँ पे. ये disable में call कर दिया तो हो गया ना. तो true false आ जाएंगे यहाँ पे. So if you pass true, it will take true. If you pass false, it will take false. I think it will work. Then no extra variable for that. The problem is key value is empty. That's fine. But if what about term? The key should be term, right?
Yeah.
It should be true. So right, likewise, if the key is equal to terms and user of key is
Not equals to question.
is equal to false. Okay, let me keep this together, or this one. Okay, let's see. I don't know. Okay, it is disable, 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 enable, disable. Perfect. Okay, if I check enable, if we recheck disable, and if you check and you don't fill username, disable. Okay, it's fine. Fine, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay, done. So I think it's fine now working. Okay, so we don't need extra state variable. I thought I said. Okay, just take a function, just loop through and return,
sir,
and this condition.
on updating each key, so this function will call, right?
Yeah.
In this case.
Hmm.
So every time calling the function, that fine.
Okay, every time when you change on the form field, yes. Where is that? No, no, no. I removed that, na. I removed it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, previously it was here. I removed it
Was, yeah.
because there is a variable. So this function directly having connection with disable state.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, fine. So yeah.
Sir, can you explain this check for empty fields is there, right function? What's happening there? Can you check the? Can you tell that function once again?
This one. See, it's basic thing.
This thing.
The,
Yeah. Check.
this is
Check for
object
empty
now.
things.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
object, right? So object, this is key, this is value. So you can't write a logic like every time you can't hard code. You may write like username is equal to empty, email empty like that. But what if there are some 100 fields? You can't write 100 conditions like that. Correct. So instead, you can also loop through an object. You can loop through array, right? For loop. Same like that, you can loop through an object, but loop through not a complete object. You can loop through the keys, array of keys, array of values. Okay, so I'm looping through the each key object dot keys of user means you get an array of username, email, password, designation, gender. So you get the list of keys in the object. So I'm looping through each key, you get the key. Okay, means username or email or password, whatever, like one by one. So looping through that keys. So here a condition is if key is equal to terms, if whenever you looping, but key, the terms itself is different. Now all are string, but this is boolean. So if the key value is terms and it's see user of key, I'm use bracket notation because dynamic substitution of the key into the user object. User in the brackets of terms, you get the value. So I'm checking the value. Here I'm checking the value is false. So whenever the name comes and its value false, or any of these remaining fields value is empty. So whenever this condition match, return true. True means disable it. Otherwise, just like if none of this field is matched with this condition, it keep looping, it come out because when nothing is works. Then when you come out means are filled properly and this becomes true, then it returns false. False means you disable is equal to false means it will enable the button. Okay.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Sir, here we used for loop for iterating the keys, right? So
Hmm.
for the comparison, earlier we have used map for traversing the elements of array, right? So can we use here map also, sir, for traversing the keys?
No. Map function. Yeah, you can use map, but map is not for checking the iteration. Nah. Map is for
To create
looping,
new.
but it returns something else. Right? It returns an array of data. We don't need array of data again.
Okay.
This itself is array of data. You want to filter inside the keys anything, then you go with like this. You can do.
Okay.
You can write like this dot map. You get the each item. So you want to return the item. So return the item. So what happened here? Okay, select items is equal to this one. So I do console.log of items. Okay, so what it does, map function, it just returns you the array of the element. Your item is nothing but the key. So you get all the keys of array. That's it, nothing much you can see. A keys of array you get. Array of all the keys. Okay. Oh, my video got stopped. How come? Okay, I think it's got stuck. Then close. Okay, so we are done with this part like form handling. Now we need to understand something called conditional rendering. So it means like how conditionally you display data. Okay, because when condition is success, this is also conditional kind of only, like here for this attribute, you provide some condition there. Okay, I'll give you some detailed example like how conditionally you render the
So
content.
conditional rendering means form handling only, sir, or
Conditional rendering, no events required for that. So generally how conditional rendering works is, for example, if you have login, so you want to display some of the items here on the navbar. If you have logout, you hide some of the items, correct?
yeah.
So the DOM you are managing based on certain condition. Okay, if you log in with admin user, you display some of the items. You log in with non-admin
Employee.
user,
Yeah.
display some items. So there we use condition. And maybe like this thing, right? In Flipkart or something, if items are going less, they show something called running out. And if item is 0, they say out of stock.
Out of stock.
So that type of conditions we can manage, just if condition kind of. And also we'll see the looping. I think we have seen looping yesterday also. Together we will see. So let's take 5 minutes break and I'll be back in 5 minutes and we'll discuss the conditional and looping. Okay, so relax. Okay. Now what we do is, okay, let me take a backup first. Okay. Yeah, now let's talk about conditional and loops. Let me clear the components not required. And go to app.js, clear them, and just say here conditional rendering. Okay. Okay. So until this concept will go on with JavaScript, from tomorrow we'll start with TypeScript. So from then we'll move everything to TypeScript. Okay. But important main focus is on TypeScript. So let's start TypeScript from tomorrow. Okay. Not a big difference. You will understand. Okay. So when you start doing things in TypeScript now, you like TypeScript only. You wanted to do in TypeScript only because there are a lot of like a lot of mistakes will be there in JavaScript. I'll tell you when you actually start with TypeScript. Okay. And officially in company, most of the people, 99% use only TypeScript, not JavaScript. In our company also we use TypeScript only, all TSX files, not JSX files. But maybe some 1% people still using JavaScript. So for them, I have explained. Now tomorrow we'll learn TypeScript for 2 days, I guess, and then switch everything to the TypeScript. Okay, going forward, everything is TypeScript. Okay. Huh. Where we are, and same example will also convert into TypeScript. Okay, so conditional rendering. So how conditionally you display the content? Like when you log in, if you do not log in, so what type of content? If it is a normal user, what type of content? And if it is admin user, what type of content, like that? Okay. So what I do in components, I create one JavaScript. Let's say admin card .jsx. So let's have the component. Let's connect. Okay, I have imported and connected. Okay, so here the plan will be I'll just take some 3 users. I'll take some 3 users. If I select any one of the users, so what type of content you display, so that way we'll make. Okay, so what I do, okay, let's take some like this. Let an array is equal to use state. Just take user roles and set user roles. Okay, so there are some we can 1 minute. You can take session recordings. You check with Ashok IT, but files I'll share daily. Okay, actually thinking to make some different example based on roles. I want to display the list of pages. Okay, so okay, I'll make like this. In this, I'll just take an array. In that, the first object. So role normal user. If role is normal user, okay. So I will take access to the pages. I'll take some list of pages like home page. Home page you can access, and then like about page you can access, and then some contact page you can access much. Okay, and fine, maybe login page, comma. If the role is like admin, if your role is admin, you can access home page, contact page, and all this, and also the dashboard. So dashboard page extra you can access, and also some settings page you can access. Okay, and there is one more user called super admin. Okay, so there you can access extra is some upload page. Okay, some extra upload page also, you can upload some new things into the system. Okay, so there are three users: normal user, admin user, super admin. So what my plan is, depend on the user, I wanted to display the content. Okay, so these are all roles. Let something use state, use state. Okay, just say user and set user. The user I'll set here. So initially he will be a normal user. Actually, instead of hard coding, you can keep it into a separate file actually. Okay. Can we do that also? Simply, I can take enum, but JavaScript enum not allowed, na? And TypeScript enum allowed. Okay. Okay, do one thing. I create one more JavaScript, normal JavaScript file. Just say user roles.js. Okay. So export constant roles is equal to an object. Here just say admin use, just say normal user. Normal user is normal user value. I'm doing long story. Okay, like you can imagine, like in real time, how actually it works. So in our application, right, in our company, this type of roles come from the API only. Like what are all pages you can access and all you get from the API, and roles we can manage like this: normal user, admin, super admin. Okay, we have some super PM, scientist, lab assistant, like that. Different things are there. Okay, so roles. So let's use here roles dot normal user. Okay, so this is roles dot admin. What's the problem? Roles insert. Okay, this is roles dot ये क्या है? Super admin. Okay, so he's normal user, he's admin, he's super admin. Initially, I'll take the data is roles dot normal user. Okay, so I make a condition here. Just take one container, one row, single column. Okay, can we take a navbar kind of with all the links, or else can we hard code like just only list of items? Okay, list of items I'll take. So call sm6 just a card body. Yeah. So here, if the condition is roles dot normal user, if this guy is a normal user, if that guy is a normal user, so what I do is I'll take some string, otherwise empty, like this. So if it is a normal user, I want to display all the access array. So let me do just for pre-tag as of now. So JSON dot stringify of access. not access. That is what user roles dot access. User roles dot. I think user roles is array na. User roles is an array. You have to loop this array. In that you get the access. It's a long story na. This is user roles is array. But that specific access I wanted. Okay, I think we have to make a function then. Get access pages. I actually I thought of giving you simple example, but I don't know, it's becoming complex. Yeah, access pages. It will take the user roles, or just take a role. Okay, role name. Okay, so for let role of, again role is an object. Okay, just say role object of user roles. I'll tell you what I'm doing. Role of user. Okay, let access pages is equal to an array. Yeah, role object of this one. In that, I wanted to have loop through this role. Array we not required, dude. Sorry. User roles dot, you can use a map function, you get the each item, and there you do the item dot, if the item dot role is equal to role name, then I'm going to return the item dot access. Simply what this is doing now. Simply what this is doing is I just loop through this array, and whenever role match this access array, I'm sending it back. So you get the access pages for the role name. So what I do here, access pages of roles dot normal user. So it will print it. What's the problem? Void function. It return the access, right? If it is okay, return. I think now happy. Yeah, let's check. So this has come, and next thing is null. Why next thing is null? It is a map and array. I don't want null. So dot filter n to n. So you won't get null. Okay, I got an array of array because this is array. एक काम करेंगे ना, dot dot dot. So that is also did the same one. Okay, I think that's fine. See, actually my plan, right? I know it is complex. Okay, you want to make a simple example? Give me some time. I'll make simple example. Then you understand. Condition not that much required actually. Even I thought. Okay, let's take login user. Okay, simple example. I'll take JSX. So let's take one component. Okay, so change this. Many people message me. Looks complex. Okay. Yeah, let's go. Let's just keep this aside for now. Just use only login user. Okay. So generally how conditional rendering, you know. Okay, let me give you that way. So here I have, okay, let's take one basic structure once. Okay, so here I have taken one division with the paragraph p.h3. Just say hello. Okay, just say hello user, and there's a paragraph lorem 20 tab. One condition, one division. Okay, so let's take one more division here. Just say thank you user. Okay, and some other text lorem 20 tab. So look at, so you have just two things. I have just simple example with two text. Okay, so I have hello user, thank you user. Okay, so what my plan is, okay, so what my plan is, when I log into the system, I want to see this message. When I am log out, then I want to see this message. So there are two things are there in the DOM, but I want to display them either one based on a condition. So condition goes like this. I'll take one state variable is equal to use state. Okay, I'll take false. Okay, I'll take false. So is logged in, and set is logged in. Okay, so is logged in false. It means you have not logged in. If I have not logged in, I display this message. If I am login, I display this message. So I have to display conditionally either this or this. So what you write a condition, like any any JavaScript code you write inside a HTML or JSX, use the expression. So always use the conditional operator, ternary operator. So what is your condition now? What is your condition now? Is login. So is login question mark and some code, otherwise some other code. Okay, so in the if login success, what to do? If login not success, what to do? If login is true, what to display? If login false, what to display? Colon, right? True part, false part. So login true, what to display? This one. So let me cut this, keep it here. Okay, if login false, let me cut this and keep it here. Simple, right? If login, display hello user. If not, display thank you user. If you make a condition for both of them, now check only one has been displayed instead of two. There were two earlier, but we have added a condition for both of this, right? You know, conditional statement now, syntax condition question mark true or false. So this is true part colon false part. Okay, and everything is inside a React expression because there is a React condition or JavaScript condition. So why I have get thank you user? Because its value false. If I make it true, then what happened? It become hello user because the change. So I do one thing. Along with this, I'll take some two buttons. Okay, so just give the class name. Just say btn minus success. Just give there's a login button. Okay, and there is one more button, btn warning. This is okay, log out button. It's not exactly login logout functionality, just a mimic. Okay, so I have two buttons. So I have two buttons, login and logout. Okay, so what my plan is, when I click on login, instead of I change this value manually, I click on this login button so that it will change the value to true. I click on logout button so that it will change the value to false. So I'll just create two functions. Let login is equal to one function. Let login is one function. What it does is set is logged in. Okay, it will get the previous state. So nothing to do with the previous state actually, just return true. If login makes true, if logout If it is logs out, it makes false. Okay, two functions. It makes true, it makes false. Instead of I change manually, I make this by default false. If you click on login, true, logout, false. So I want to give a connection for both of these buttons. Okay, so that I can't go again and again to the file and change. Okay, on click login function, and here on click logout function. Okay, now it will change the value of is login, and based on the value, these guys will render conditionally. So now check. By default, I got thank you user, or okay, by default is thank you user because I have not login. So when I click on login, it's become hello user. When I click on logout, it's become thank you user. So it is changing the value so that your condition has getting changed. Okay, this way. One more thing you can ask, sir, this condition is changing depend on the logic, fine, but what about the buttons? You can't see both the buttons at a time, right? You can have either login button or logout button, but you can't see both the buttons. So what we can also do is you can also apply the same kind of condition for the buttons also. Not only the text you have apply the condition. For text you have apply the condition. Like buttons also you apply the condition. What condition? If I am login true, then logout will if I am login, then login will be hidden. If I am logout, then logout will be hidden. Okay, so what you do, this takes some condition again, is logged in, same story. If login want to display, if you're already login, logout to be display, because only one element I'm writing like this, or login will be display. Correct? This is a condition. So if login, display logout button, otherwise display login button. You can write this empty tag, but I just have only one tag, so this itself is a parent and all, so no problem. So now check, and is a colon, true part, false part. Go check. So you have only login button. Why I have only login button? Because this value false by default. That's why I get only login button. So the moment I click on login, it's become hello user, and you can see logout button. You click on logout, then you say thank you user. Login, hello user, logout, thank you user. Correct? So this is how you are conditionally display, and it looks like there is only one button is getting changed to color and login to logout, logout to login. No, there are two buttons conditionally, toggle effect. It is like, appearing and disappearing. Okay, same story I wanted to apply. You understand this concept now, right? Simply conditional statement you write, and whatever, how much 1,000 lines of code also you can write here. It works. Okay, so how conditionally you manage the DOM? Okay, you remove the element from the DOM, you add element to the DOM like that. Okay, same story actually I wanted to apply here. Isko hata ke. Okay, keep this after in admin card. Okay, I think you can make this now. So my plan now here, I have these many. Okay, so if it is a normal user, I display this text. Okay, copy this. If it is admin user, I'll pass admin user. Okay, if it is super admin, yeah, super admin, I'll pass super admin. Okay, I think it's condition not as per roles dot normal user, na condition as per your user. Or if
Can
here
we take
condition is, yeah, user is equal to normal user. Okay, if user is equal to admin user is equal to super admin. So user value was what? Normal user. If it is a normal user, you see only this guy. If I change this manually to admin, then you get more options. When I change this to super admin, you get even more options that way. Okay, let's take this guy as normal user. Actually, I want to change this user data using the buttons. Okay, so under the card body, I'll take some 3 buttons with the class name btn minus success.
Is it
Uh,
possible to take alert and display?
alert.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Oh, in the alert you want to display.
Not as soon as the browser opens, like alert, we should submit the role. Depends on role. We can display the option.
You want to have a select box or something? Actually, we can make some select box for display. Why this much bigger button? That is card body. I make the button in the card. What's the problem? Okay. So, okay. Wait. We can do multiple things. Yeah. So this is gonna be the normal user. Okay. So likewise, I have PTN warning. This is admin user and BTN danger. This is gonna be the super admin. Okay, so I have 3 users: normal user, admin user, super admin user. So whoever log in, so that details will come over there. So actually, instead of displaying like this, you can make like some badges, right? Instead of writing the pre tag, you can use actually a badges. So how you display badge? Oh wait, before badge, let's make the functionality work. Click on normal user, convert to user. So यहाँ पे क्या करेंगे? On click, I'll update. I can make set user directly here only. Na? Set user. Return roles dot normal user. Here you get the previous state. I don't do anything in the previous state. What's the problem? Too many renders, React limits exceeds. Oh, okay. You cannot set like this, it says. Okay. I'll do one thing. Let's take a global function. Let update user is equal to
Sorry, in
120.
TypeScript, it will allow rendering many things as you are trying to do, right?
No,
No,
not
it has given one error, no?
yeah. So update user, I'll take a username. So set user there. I have a previous state. So I return the role name directly. So I update user here. So simply what I do, I call it with update user of roles dot normal user. This is easy. This is admin user. This is super admin. Okay. So when I click on the button, I'm passing a different roles. So this get update to the user, and based on the user condition, it will display. So I think it will refresh. I think no error. Yeah. So normal user, admin user, super admin, right? So whoever the admin, so respectively, those details are coming. So you can't demonstrate completely login functionality and all because we didn't know authentication till now. How conditionally you render the links, assume these links are on dashboard. So when normal user login, so only these pages. When admin user login, these pages. When super admin logins, extra this page. Okay, when log out, then back here. Okay, so actually you can make these guys as some, what I said, badges. है ना?
So in real
But,
time, how can we display that? Like if it is admin or super admin,
Hmm.
should we display components in place of this text or how?
see, if you wanted to display only links, you can just manage with this one. Like in the nav bar only, you configure if normal user add extra this item. Actually, you will define all of this in the nav bar.
Okay.
Okay, and for each of this, you add a condition. Okay, this will display for all the three. This will display for all the three. I think dashboard display for this one and this one. The upload display only for this one except these two. So you can make those conditions while writing your HTML only. So that way you do. Or if you wanted to display a different pages like components, so there before you declare the component only, you can add a condition. Like for example, I have normal user component, admin user page, like the main component will be there na, for module level. So there only you can write it. If it is a normal user, go the flow with normal user. So inside all normal user pages. So if it is admin user, so you make a condition. If admin user, go flow with admin user, like that. So here only you can make a condition. Okay. So yeah, simple only. Just try to understand. Nothing much. Actually, my plan instead of pre-tag, यहाँ पे, but why I don't want this array of array. I just want only array. How much? 935. Oh, give me a minute. What we did, user roles dot map. Where is user roles? User roles. User roles is array. In that you have a map. Okay, role name, item dot access. Why can't I say directly item dot access? Correct. I can do item dot access directly. You get the again array of access. No. Map function always
Map
returns an
always
array.
return array.
Yeah. Yes, it always returns an array of. एक काम करेंगे. This array I want to convert or expand. Array I don't want to substitute. But if I say dot dot dot, it is not letting take because empty dot 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 you can't send like that. Okay, so access. I think then no map, you have to use for loop only, then you get directly the array. Okay, so for let item of user roles. Okay, this one, I think this will work. Yes, so you get the array of this one. So array you can loop and display the array, you can loop and display the what badges. So what I do in this, I make one more condition. What I do, yeah, access pages of roles dot normal user dot map. You get the each item. Okay, or is like this. You get the item from a index. So each item you have to display like return some span tag with the class name. I think it's badge and bg success, and just give some m2, just print the item. So you have all items there. Okay, or else you take like this one division and you make, and key must be required, the index. Okay, so we have only 3 pages for normal user. For admin user, same story you have to do. But why to make same story multiple times? You can make something better. Okay, I'll find a better way. Just say it is admin and it is super admin. See, so you have these items. Okay, and then I click on admin user. Yeah, normal user only these 3 items. Admin user, more items, super admin, even one more item. Okay, so like that it will conditionally render those extra pages. Yeah, looks hard, but this is how it is. Yeah, try to understand you. Nothing much, just only conditions we added. Okay. Okay. Okay, fine. So React nodes, I have some old nodes. I think I can give that. But concept wise, I said right. Only
Sir,
concepts you have to know.
how can we
Definitions are not.
optimize more on that duplication of code?
Yes, yes, that's what I'm
We can
saying.
give it a try. Okay.
Yes, yes. Okay, you can have a try how to optimize this. I can feel you can convert this to a separate function and make it. Okay, so I think that will work. हाँ एक काम करेंगे ना इसको राइट क्लिक करके refactor, introduce a new method, let's say a function, let's say get or display menu items. Okay, so I have call display menu items function. Okay, I think I don't need to do this much also. Okay, let's check. Yeah, it will return you this one, but not hard code it. Copy this, keep here, so that on it role, just take a role, pass on here. So you have to pass here roles dot normal user. Simply you copy, replace here roles dot admin user, replace roles dot super user. ये क्या हो गया? So roles dot super admin. So I have extracted the logic into a separate function. So whatever you pass in, I just taken and go here. So it will take the role, it loop through and display whatever the content you want it. It will return the HTML that get rendered out there. So it is also works in the same way. Normal user, admin user, super user. Okay, this way you can extract the code into a function. Even simplify you can do. Why this much code? If it is normal user, such a blunder mistake we did, huh? User is equal to roles dot normal user, then directly you can call the function. Who is stopping? हाँ, इतना story क्यों है? You take this, paste and paste. If it is admin user, if it is super admin, then go with admin user and go with super admin. Simple conditions. So go check super admin, normal user, admin user working. So this is how you simplify. Okay, so let me tell you what I did here. See, actually, one way is you can write the complete HTML code here. Okay, if the condition match, this HTML code will work. If the condition fail, this HTML code will work. Sir, what if this code is something, 100 lines of code? So this looks ugly, right? And it will be very hard for the user to, I mean, the developer to understand where is the colon from where the code is started and all, right? Because in between HTML colons are there, these empty tags are there. To avoid that, this whole thing you can keep it into a separate function. Okay, and this also keep it into a separate function. For example, if you wanted to display this code, so you may write directly a function. So like this. So constant display, okay, display content, login user. Just say display login user content, something like that. Okay, display login user content. So here it returns a JSX directly. This code you cut it, keep here. Okay, and this call this function. I think no, not all this. Only call this function. See, instead of writing the HTML code, I call a function, and that function returns JSX. So instead of hard coding the JSX here, like writing the JSX here, I bring it to a separate function. Okay, and the same way you take another function, display log out user or something. Okay, let's call let's keep this code in that. Okay, and call this function when it's not like this. Simple, right? If login, call this function. If not login, call this function. But that actually display the code. Okay, so you wanted to try, go to this login user. See here, login, logout. It's working, right? Same story. So instead of you write a bigger HTML code for the conditions, may take a function and that must return the JSX. Okay. So here also same story. If normal user, I call this function. So what it does, because there is no else condition, only this condition match go with this, only this condition match go with this. So if there are two conditions like true and false, you go with question mark, true part, false part, colon. But you have only one condition, no else condition. So one way you can do is question mark, this one, otherwise null. You take this way. But I can say this code looks ugly because you yourself forcing something called null here. So if you don't have a second case, then go with and operator directly. So if match this one, if match this one, if match this one. Okay. So this way you can try. I think, yeah, we are done with this part and I share the code. Looping, I think we already discussed. So 05 hyphen react conditional rendering. I copy everything except node modules, copy, paste here. So where I was sharing the code. One second. Okay.
Sir, can you share the path of the Google?
Sorry.
Can you share the path of the Google Drive?
Google Drive path. Wait. I'll give.
I need to share port folder.
1 minute. Yeah. So I think it is uploading. So path for this is get link. Where can I paste? In the chat. Okay. So I can paste in the chat. अरे ये copy नहीं हो. Get link. Copy link. Paste. Enter. Okay. So please check those like how many of you having access to this link. So those who are unable to access, yeah, two things are there. You paid and unable to access. Let me know. Okay, I will grant access. If not paid, maybe I think you can't access because for paid people they ask me to share the code. and even the recordings also same way, I guess. I think with this free session ends, I think. So from tomorrow, I think paid sessions. Yeah. So the plan for tomorrow is, as of now, we discuss everything on a JavaScript way, right? So tomorrow, what we do is we will be, again, my video gone now. There now. Okay. So tomorrow, what we do is we start with TypeScript. Okay. So what are the, problem with JavaScript and why we have to switch to TypeScript and what are the advantages and disadvantages using both? I'll tell you. And then we'll switch everything like from the scratch, like from React project onwards, we will do in TypeScript, because the way how you create a project here is pure JavaScript one. See, you can find everything JavaScript only, default also. Main files also JavaScript only. But when you start creating from TypeScript, the way how you create a project also different, because slightly you have to change the command to create a project in TypeScript. And from then you get everything .tsx will come. Okay. And flow also slight different. Okay. So I show you that from tomorrow. Okay.
Sir,
Ah.
can I share my screen now?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ashok
guys.
IT will give the access of a Telegram group, not the G Drive link. So how can we get that?
Telegram group.
Yeah.
No, we have a WhatsApp group for our batch.
Okay. They shared me the Telegram group link. 04 UI batch developer.
Who share?
No, admin from Ashok IT.
Telegram group.
Yes.
I was there in WhatsApp group only. Okay, I will check with them.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Earlier, everybody is on WhatsApp only.
Okay. So I have to ask them for a WhatsApp group. Ashok IT?
Yes, it should be WhatsApp group. Telegram group, I think it is common for everyone, like free group, like just for post code. I mean, like post like badge information and all. But specifically for this group information, like group chatting for paid people mostly, it is WhatsApp only. Okay, you can check with them.
Yeah, okay, sure.
So, someone want to share a screen, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 1 minute. Let me grant access. Yeah, okay. Yeah, guys, I'm done with my today's class. So those who want to leave, you can leave. Okay. I grant access. Please check. I stop share. Yeah, tomorrow we'll start TypeScript from scratch. Yeah, TypeScript from scratch. But before TypeScript, you need to know JavaScript. Yeah, Srinu, I share it. Just keep your email ID on.
Is visible, sir?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm facing this problem.
What
As
is
you can see, I
it?
did
Create React. Oh, system cannot find the path specified. Do you have Node.js? Yes. Okay. Do one thing. Type the command npm install create -react-app, create -react-app space --global --global. Enter. Okay, so now run the command called npx create react app first app. System cannot find the path specified. How come? Desktop. Can you try the node version? Node ---- version.
Yes.
Yes. npm version. npm space ---- version. Yeah.
I think user is in OneDrive folder. This might be
Oh,
the reason?
okay. See, you are in some, no. Maybe you are using any cloud folder. Can you go to another folder apart from C drive? Go to some D drive or something and try. Type D
Okay.
colon there. No, there only. Type D colon. You have only C drive.
In Node.
Yeah. In command prompt, type D colon.
Okay. D colon.
D colon.
Sir, I requested
Enter.
you for
Enter.
the
Yeah. Now try the command npm install. Sorry, npx install. Sorry, npx create React tab first tab. Sorry. Gopal, you're saying something?
sir, I requested to access that link. I paid for the course, but unable to. Can you?
Okay. I'll check the chat. System cannot find the path. How come? System cannot find the path specified. Okay. Do directly. Can you check create React tab space version? Create React tab.
In
Create
this mail, is
hyphen.
it?
Yeah, the same.
Mail.
Create React
Okay.
tab. Create React tab space hyphen version. Why it was says like that? Yeah, is there. Okay, do one thing. Directly create React tab space first tab. Gopal, what is your email ID? Can you message your email ID?
Sure, sir. I'm doing it.
Now creating. I don't know, some problem is there with npx. So going forward, you do this command. Create React tab space first tab. Okay.
Just shared you that. Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, if I'm, is this just for this system, or if I want to do something like I want to open in another
Actually,
system, so I
yeah,
have to
maybe
follow the
yes,
same step?
yes. This system is having some problem with npx. So maybe other system it will work. But actually, the first one which you have, which you type npx is the correct
Oh,
command. But maybe this system is having some problem. So this system you use only create React tab because you already installed create React tab. So this is actually second approach. So first approach not working for you, so use the second approach. So anyway, it will work now.
okay.
Okay, we'll create a project. So anything else?
So
Yeah.
previously
Sir,
user is in
I also paid for this. So how should I get the notes and everything?
Yeah. Do one thing. Okay, you can just message your mail ID
In the chat
in the
box?
chat. In the chat.
Okay, sir.
Sir?
Should I stop screen recording?
Yes, please.
So previously this user is in OneDrive folder. So is it possible to create and execute a React app in OneDrive also? Like as you said, cloud.
OneDrive, mostly no, I guess, because
Yeah.
installation and that is different. Na?
Mm.
We installed in our local drives, right? But
Yeah.
OneDrive is something in connect to the cloud. Maybe it won't work.
Yeah.
Okay, the one who shared me the links. I think 3 people shared, Srinu, Gopal, and Banu. So I'll grant access. So please check the link. Oh, cannot share this item. Come on. 1 minute. Okay. So Gopal, I granted access. 1 minute. Banu, I try. Yeah.
For WhatsApp group, we need to ask the Ashok share.
Yes.
And
You ask with
for
you check with them.
Drive, That
Try
review.
you check with me.
Yeah, okay.
You paid,
Yes, sir. I'm come from Chantisher batch.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes.
Share me your email ID.
Yeah, I shared you, sir,
Okay.
on chat box.
Yeah.
Sayed
So
54.
yeah, Srinu and Gopal and Banu, I granted access. So please click on the link which is there in the chat. Okay. So you wish I'll share
Yes.
again. Are you able to access?
Yes, sir. I'm able to access.
Okay. Okay.
Sir, I have also shared my email ID with you.
1 minute. Who is this?
Sir, Farhan.
Farhan.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Farhan, you're talking 2 times. You log in 2 times. Eh?
No, sir. Earlier, I was logged in with my mobile only. So maybe that's why.
Okay. Okay, okay, fine. I'll copy the mail ID and grant.
I shared that email ID.
Yeah, Farhan granted access. Please check.
Okay.
Okay. So that's it. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much. I have another class by 10 o'clock.
Sir, can you please
So
give me access of I shared mail to you.
HTML.
No, mail. I shared mail. Sayed 54 something. That's my mail. In chat box, I shared you.
Farhan, I
Okay.
see.
No,
Sayed.
yes, Sayed Mujib.
You paid, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 1 minute.
I share you again.
Yeah, you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, wait, I'm granting.
Yeah, this is right.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
You can check.
Yes, sir. I
Yeah.
have also paid. Give me access. Prajesh Balan.
Prajesh Balan.
Gmail.com.
Okay. Actually, they are yet to share the email ID for all of the paid people. I don't know. I'll check with them again. Okay, Prazan also you got. Prajesh also you got. Okay, thanks guys. So if any updates, we'll make it tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll start TypeScript. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir.